Welcome. I am really glad you are here with us. I'm Laureen Quick, and I work with women over 50 who are navigating change, often at moments when the body begins to speak more insistently than ever before. For many women, this doesn't begin as pain in the way we typically define it. It begins as fatigue that doesn't lift, tension that no longer resolves, a body that wasn't able or anymore to cooperate in ways that it used to do, even though it may be that nothing is really wrong on paper. And there's nothing wrong with you per se, but there is this pain, this hurt. And too often women interpret this as failure. They interpret it as I'm getting old, as something breaking, as a sign that they should ignore it and just push harder and manage better and simply endure. This conversation is a part of the Next Chapter Summit, a gathering for women who are navigating change, reinvention, and renewal after 50. It's a space that honors what the body has been carrying, not to diagnose it or fix it, but to listen more honestly to what it's asking right now. And that is why I am so grateful to be joined today by Ani Papazyan. Ani is a pain resolution practitioner, nutritionist, a lifestyle educator, and best-selling author with more than 3 decades of experience helping people move beyond chronic pain and reclaim trust in their bodies. Her work gently bridges science and lived experience, supporting women who have spent years overriding physical signals and who are ready to relate now to their bodies differently. What you're about to hear is not a treatment plan, not a promise of relief or healing. It is a conversation, grounded, compassionate, and deeply human, about what changes when a woman stops fighting her body during times of transition and begins to understand that her body is an ally. It also offers a glimpse into the kind of conversations that we will be having throughout the Next Chapter Summit. So, Ani, I am so glad that you are here and that you are going to be a part of our Next Chapter Summit. Let's get started today.
Hello, everyone. Lauren, thank you. Glad to be here.
I am delighted you're here. When women over 50, Ani, come to you during a season of change, what's the first sign that their body is asking for something different, even before they can consciously name it as pain?
Honestly, it's confusion. They come in saying things like, it never used to bother me. I don't understand why is this happening to me now.
Mhm.
And as you mentioned, the first sign isn't the pain, is that everything they're used to doing to manage their body has stopped working. Those stretches, those pushing through, the I'll deal with this later. So the body suddenly, they feel like their bodies all of a sudden overnight failed them, but it's just stopped compensating for you. So here's the question that every woman should be asking herself. How long have you been ignoring the signals that now are too loud to override?
Mhm. So it's not like this suddenly became a question in the body. It's been there all along. We just have not been listening or we've chosen to ignore it.
Exactly.
Hmm. Fascinating. So there is now a more serious demand for us to listen to our
Absolutely.
bodies. Yeah. And at the same time, many women will say, "Oh, I failed because, I thought I was taking care of myself. I thought I was doing all the right things, and I I can't do those things anymore. I can't experience my day like I did in my 20s and my 30s. But what do you actually see happening underneath that story that we're telling ourselves that I'm old?
Well, like you said already, for decades, women, we just used to pushing through and your body does perform. But nobody tells you that that compensation has an expiration date. And at some point, usually happens in your 40s or 50s. And I cannot tell you how many times I've heard from women, from my clients saying, Ani, as soon as I turn 40 or as soon as I turn 50, I swear overnight, my body is, I don't know what's happening to me. The things that used to work, they don't work anymore. So the real question is, who are you now when you stop pushing through? Because those identity crises, that terrifying, I don't recognize myself anymore, or I don't recognize my body, it's not a failure. It's just your body's way of asking to relate to it differently.
Hmm.
Instead of pushing it through, it is asking for you to work with it. So, and if you're wondering what that actually looks like, that's exactly what this summit is going to be about. That's what exactly we're going to explore.
It absolutely is. And I can so relate to everything that you're saying because two things. One is I was the person who pushed through. I would work 60, 80-hour weeks, just pound it out. I could go through the whole night, get up the next day, not even get up, just get going the next day, and wham, I was making it happen. That is no longer me. And I would say it truly, I have slowed down a bit, but at the same time, as I've gotten older, I'm really slowing down, but I'm slowing down intentionally now. I am listening more, I am pausing more because I want to know me. I want
Exactly.
to know me and I want my life aligned with me. And I didn't realize that all that pushing, all that rushing was actually blocking me from knowing me and loving me. And so it's
Exactly.
been an incredible experience as I've gone through this, but it is not easy if you are the driver type who can just ram things through and make things happen and boom, boom, boom. It's just not working. It doesn't work anymore. And it's so I think in a way it's like body wisdom. The body is saying, hey, girlfriend, it's time to take a look at yourself. It's time to revel in who you are. It's time to relax a little bit
Yeah,
and enjoy the moment. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And then at the same time, the second thing I wanted to mention, which is fascinating, I'm 67 and I have had many women tell me when you hit 72, you will hit a wall. I'm guaranteeing it, Laureen. Just when you hit 72, you're going to hit a wall. And I'm like, oh, it starts to scare me a little bit, you know? But I think it's the same thing. It's just women who have not been listening, who continued to push through. And 72, for some reason, is this moment that yeah, the body just says, no more, babe. No more. Now I'm really putting my foot down.
Exactly.
Yeah. This is amazing. This is just amazing. Without giving away what you're going to explore in our summit conversation, what changes when a woman stops fighting her body during these transitions and really starts to relate to it as an ally? What changes?
I love this question because, as you mentioned, everything changes. And I mean this physically. See, when you're in that fighting, pushing through mode, you're stuck in this vicious loop. Your nervous system is constantly at override mode, constantly fighting. Your muscles, your fascia is tight to just keep you going. So you're burning this energy and trying to fight a battle. I can never pronounce that word properly.
That's
Battle that you are not going to win. But when you stop fighting and start listening to what your body is trying to tell you, your body, you can see a pattern. And I have to say that everyone has their own pattern. It's unique only to you because it's unique to your life's experiences. And once you start recognizing that pattern, you can work with it. That's when the magic happens.
Hmm.
The moment you stop controlling what's happening and just start paying attention to it, that's when the magic happens. The things start shifting. So the question is, like, what if the pain you've been trying to like get rid of, to override, is actually the answer that you've been looking for? And again, this is what we're going to dive deeper a little bit in the summit.
Mhm. And I love that question. What if the pain is really the answer you've been looking for? It's not something to get rid of, it's something to actually get curious about and interact with. I can't wait for our conversation. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if a woman is watching today and feels exhausted from years of holding it all together physically, what would you want her to know before she decides whether to join us at the summit?
Well, one thing I want your listeners and the ladies that thinking about, am I going to just learn another technique? Am I going to just be pushed to buying something? Keep in mind, this is not about, I'm not going to be sharing any magical techniques with you. And this is not about fixing yourself because you are not broken. What we're going to talk about in the summit is, what if your body that you've been fighting up until now knows something that you do not know?
Oh,
And you don't have to have figured out all of this before showing up for the summit, you know, or wondering what's the magical ways, or it's a secret, or there's like a 20 things I have to do before I feel anything. But ask yourself this: what's the cost of not finding out? What's the cost of your body, your quality of life, if you don't show up and you don't find out how I can look at my body, what questions I can ask to my body, to myself, that I haven't asked up until now, that's going to help me change the way I function, the way I look at my body, and go through this transition moment, make it more fluid, and see the light on the other side,
mm.
which I have to tell you, ladies, it's magical because I'm 56. Next month, I'll be 57. And I love it.
And I will tell you, I love it too. And I'm 67 and I love it. This has been I always am surprised to say this. This is the best time of my life. It has been the absolute best time of my life. And I want every woman who joins us for the summit to understand this is the best time of your life. You don't have to hold back anymore. You get to be who you are. Thank you for all of that. Before we close, I want to make this offer. If this conversation has helped you recognize that your body has been giving you a message, it hasn't been failing you, it has been communicating with you. If you felt tired of pushing and managing and overriding your physical signals just so you could keep going, if something in you is wondering what might change if you listened differently, that is exactly the kind of inquiry that we are going to be honoring throughout the Next Chapter Summit. This gathering isn't about fixing our bodies or forcing outcomes. It's about creating a space for women to reconnect with themselves physically, emotionally, and intuitively during seasons of transition. You will find a link in the conversation notes to this video that will give you information about the summit and the opportunity to register if you would like to join us. Ani, thank you. Thank you so much for being you, for saying yes to the summit, for being here today. I believe you have so much wisdom in you, and I just want to sit and drink at the fountain and absorb everything that you know to make my life better and to also share with the women at the summit. You are steady, you are compassionate, and I have great respect for you and the work that you do in helping women learn to trust their bodies again. And to everyone listening, if your body has been asking for something different, you are not behind. You are listening right now, and you are warmly, I do mean this from the bottom of my heart, you are warmly welcome to join us at the summit. Thanks for listening.